Dr. Rena here. I'm a dental specialist and founder of RW Perio, located at 75 Harley Street. Welcome to my podcast, Life and Smile, where we talk about everything dental, lifestyle, business, and much more. Every episode, I'm joined in conversation with a specialist expert in their chosen field, who give us a behind-the-scenes glimpse into their daily regime, career turning points, and an insider look at what they can't live without. As a businesswoman myself, it's so inspiring to hear how people have built their careers and shattered those glass ceilings. So let's get the conversation going. Super excited to welcome Harpz Kaur on the podcast today. Harpz is a multi-talented personality, best known for her daily breakfast show on BBC Asian Network. More recently, she's also joined the world of TV as a presenter for the CBBC Saturday Mash Up. She's won many awards, including Radio Presenter of the Year and Outstanding Young Journalist of the Year at the Asian Media Awards. She's also the official ambassador for the Dream Big Desi Women campaign. I've known Harpz personally for a few years now, and she's always been such a delight to catch up with. She's full of energy, always great to be in conversation with. So thank you so much, Harpz. I'm really excited to have you on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me. And I'm even more excited because I'm on this side for once.
Yeah, exactly. A role reversal.
Yeah.
So you are now a celebrated radio DJ and TV presenter. But let's take it back to when it all started. So when you were a young girl thinking about what you want to do with life and your career, what are the kind of things that cross your mind, and then what actually made you decide this is the route you want to go down?
It's a very long story, this one, but I'll try and give you the shortcut version. I remember being roughly around 15, 16 when you're in college and you've got to start making big decisions.
Yeah.
That's when you really have to start taking life seriously. What do you want to do? What do you want to be?
Exactly.
Your parents are constantly asking.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to lie. I was really confused.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the smartest when it came to being in the books. My education was not exactly, I wasn't top of the class a lot of the time, but I'd shine when it came to like practical things.
Okay.
So I kind of tried to focus on that when I was in college, thinking maybe my strengths just lie in the physical stuff, the practical things rather than the theory. Not saying that education is not important, because it really, really is. And stay in school, kids, if you're listening. But it's not that. I just tried to find ways of figuring out what is it that I really enjoy and what would make me want to wake up every single morning to do it.
Right.
So when I got to college, I still had to do what my dad wanted me to do. I think you should pick business studies. I think you should do this. And I said, I'll do it if you let me do art on the side, because I loved art when I was in school, even when I was younger.
I know the feeling with that. I mean, coming from a Asian family myself, an Indian doctor, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an accountant or a lawyer, or I mean, you definitely broke that stereotype. So
And the usual questions: what are you going to do with art? What are you going to do? Like, where are you going to go? But that was our little compromise. And I was like, if you let me do something that I actually enjoy on the side, I'll do what you want me to do.
Nice.
He never forced me. It wasn't pressure. I'm probably making it sound a little bit extra worse than what it was. But I remember not doing so well in whatever my dad told me to do.
Okay.
So that was a wake-up call. And I was like, Dad, look, if you're shining in that, doesn't mean I'm going to be the same. And I wasn't. So I realized that every time I'd sit and examine something I liked, I was fine.
Right.
But every time I sat and examined something that someone else told me to do, I flopped.
Yeah.
Like really badly as well. So I had to make a big decision at that point. And I was like, Dad, you're just going to have to let me loose now when I go to uni and just let me try what I think is good for me. And I remember going down a list of different subjects in uni, and I just thought, where do I fit? Like, what could I do?
Yeah.
And I failed my maths 3 times. So anything that will help me not focus too much on numbers.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, my job now is all around numbers. I live around the clock. So But I went for media studies, and underneath it just said radio and TV.
Right.
That was it. I was all over it. I was like, yeah, this is me. I talk all day long. I'm not shy or scared of being in front of a camera. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
And I remember my friends, just as a laugh, always used to say to me, like, you're going to be some big timer one day. We can see you on a stage doing this and that. I was like, yeah, whatever. Laughed it off. Anyway, got to uni, did the degree. And I honestly, that's the first time in my life at the age of 19, 20, where I realized now I know what I'm born to do.
Yeah.
And
that must be an amazing
yeah,
feeling when you're actually,
So anything that I did at uni, like the littlest work experience job to just trying out different things that I'd never done before, I just really, really knew that this is it. This is what I was born to do, and that was it. The rest was history. I just took it by the horns.
And love it just as much as you do now.
Yeah.
I think it's what you said about what makes you wake up in the morning. I think that's such a good kind of motto to follow. You don't want to live your life where every morning, oh God, I'm going to work again. You want work to feel like play, which is...
Yeah. I'm really passionate about that because I know so many people in my life, and it's not always a bad thing, but I hear the same conversation, the same chat, the same lines a lot.
Yeah.
Can't bother to go to work tomorrow. I really don't want to wake up. I really don't want to do this. I have those days, but I don't say it because I don't like my job.
Yes.
Whereas there's a lot of people that do that, and you get stuck and you become miserable, and the cycle goes round and round, and you don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine living my life like that. I know I have to wake up every day to do something that I love. It's so important.
I completely agree. And I think when you put it into perspective, our work, when you count the hours, unfortunately, it's kind of the most that the rest of our life, it's the biggest thing we will do for the most amount of our day, years ahead. So I think it's not a decision that shouldn't be thought about in detail. But yeah, I completely agree. So that's what made you sort of go into it. And then you started your career as a TV presenter, radio presenter, and the whole field of media, basically. Yeah. So obviously it's been probably a whirlwind of a journey since that point. Is there along that way, is there anything that's really made you proud, where you've looked back and think, wow, obviously when you first managed to get into university and finish the degree must have been an amazing feeling. But then throughout your career, any points that you thought, wow, that's been one of my proudest moments so far?
Yeah, I think there's two things to answer that question, and they're probably not something that you're expecting. I think the first one was actually getting my degree, because my practical stuff, like, I know I keep going back to it, but in uni I always got like first for that. I was always top of the class for presentations and practical stuff and going out and getting content and whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But anytime I came down to do theory or sit in an exam and sit down and concentrate, I couldn't do it. But that's what was bringing me down in terms of my marks for actually graduating.
Yeah.
And I remember going into like my mentor's office. I used to sit there. I've spent months in that place at that uni crying, wanting to quit. And I used to sit there going, please just let me go home. I can't do it. Because every time you give me my results, it really hurts. It makes me feel like maybe I can't do this.
Yeah.
But he was the only person that made me carry on. He was like, no, you've got this. There's something in you. You can do it. And I just scraped it. I'm happy and fine to admit the fact that I just scraped to get a degree. But that for me is such a proud feeling, because for me, I'm not the brightest person in the classroom, but I've learned that doesn't mean that you can't be someone, because I'm a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
And I know that there'll be other people listening going, why do I never get great marks or the A's and the B's? Yeah. I've been a C and a D student, but it doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't stop you.
Yeah,
I definitely think I completely agree. I think the mindset has really changed. In the past, it was all about academics and exams, but now, there's other things that you need to bring to the table, which are probably, I personally think, even more important.
100%.
Your communication, your ability to speak and work with people of a different personalities. I think that's so important. I think definitely looking at dentistry, you can be academically the brightest person, but if you have no idea how to speak to a person and communicate, you're not going to be the best dentist. So,
and these are some things that you might not learn in school all the time. They're life skills. Until you don't get out there and learn, you're not really going to know. I think the first thing is definitely my degree. It means more to me just the fact that I actually got one. Got to wear the hat, got to take the picture, and like a lot of Asian families like to get that one picture on a wall somewhere. I'm actually very happy that it's there, because I never thought I'd get it. But the second turning point for me is, it's a negative turn into a positive, because after I graduated, I didn't have a job for 6 years.
Wow.
I tried everything and anything I could, but I did so much free work in those 6 years, you will not believe. I hit rock bottom, I hit depression, I was sat in my room crying, wanting to give up on my life. It was a really, really, really dark time for me. And even when I think about it now, I get really emotional because I can't believe I came out of it. So I just think now where I'm sat, and even talking to you now, I would never have dreamt of anything like this to have happened back then. So when people ask me what I'm proud of, I think I'm just proud that I didn't give up, even though it was 6 years. And it's a long 6 years, but I didn't stop. Because if I did, I would not be where I am now. I would have just quit.
That's incredible. So what kept you going, and what was the moment where you were like, okay, things are getting better?
Yeah, I just remember there was a day where I sat in my room and I thought, that's it. What is the point of life? That's how dark it was. And my dad came into my room and he was like, why don't you just join the family business? Like, you did this degree. We did say, like, what are you going to do with it afterwards? You don't see many Asian females doing this kind of thing. And I think he was more concerned. It wasn't you're not doing it. No. It was, I'm worried what you're going to do with it afterwards.
Right.
And there's a part of me inside that never wanted to hear my dad say, I told you so. It's because I'm quite stubborn like that. And I was like, no, I'm going to prove it to you that I will do something.
Yes.
And he was like, why don't you just join the family business? It's fine. Like, you know, what you're going to do now, just get up, and you need money. You need an income.
Yeah.
And those words just went in like round and round in my head every night before I went to sleep, thinking, I'm 22, 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
And there's hardly anything. So I had to sign on. I used to go like to the job seekers. Like I had to learn how to even do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, what has my life changed into? Like I went to uni, I worked so hard, wanting to become this, wanting to do that. Spent 3.5 years doing that and a postgrad on top of it in broadcast journalism. And now I'm just sat here trying to find a random job. That's not what I planned to do.
No.
And then I just remember crying so much, to the point where my head was hurting so much, and I just had to make a decision. I looked at myself in the mirror. As sad as this sounds, I did do this. I looked at myself in the mirror and I just thought, do you actually want to work hard and become something to live your life, or do you want to drop everything right now and probably not even have the chance to realize if that was a regret, because it probably would have gone down that route. And I woke up the next morning thinking, no, I did not work this hard to like not do anything. So I did grab a lot of like freelance work, but it was more in news. I never wanted to be a news reporter. I'm the last person on the planet that anyone would believe if I said a serious story. So you'd just be like, what, Harpz, are you joking? So, but I travelled a lot. So I did like a lot of hard work and graft, but jobs that I didn't really want to do. Right. But I knew that I needed to do those things to get to where I am. Yeah. So I always say this to people when people say, oh, but I don't want to do it. And I say yes to everything. Yeah. And you can say no after when you know it's not for you. And that's just the way I worked. So I'd do it, I'd hate it, and then I'd do it for maybe a couple of months, earn a little bit of money, and then I'd be like, actually, no, I can't do this, and move on to the next. So I travelled a lot. I did a lot for Capital. I did a lot for TFM, Metro Radio. So Newcastle, London, Manchester, I'd be here and there. But as you know, the freelance work, you get either 2 weeks here and you're off for 6 months. You get 2 months work and you're off for a bit. Did that for 6 years and it was awful. Wow. It was awful. But I had to keep telling myself that there's a reason you're born to do this, Harpz, and at some point that break will come. Yeah. And it did.
And it did, yeah. God, that's so inspirational. In terms of, so if you had to say someone who was kind of at your stage, say 10 years ago, you're talking to your younger self, what would you say, considering everything that's happened over those years?
I know it's really cliche and you hear it a lot, like don't give up and don't quit and all of that. You hear it all your life and you think, yeah, okay. But actually, I've never believed it more than now. Like now I've realised I was so close to being that person of going, right, you know what, forget this, I'm just going to do something completely different. Yeah. But my heart wasn't wanting to do that. It was just my mind going, you know what, you need to do something. But anyone that's been in that position or even listening right now thinking, I'm going through that right now. Like, I don't know where I'm going with life. I've got 1,000 emails in my inbox with rejections because I had that. You'd be knocking on every door and there'd be no, or thanks for trying, maybe later. A maybe next time is not a next time. No. We all sit there going, well, you're not going to message me a next time. Right. But if you are passionate and you're driven and you're adamant and you have a real, true love for that one thing you're chasing, it will happen. but only if you give it 100%. You can't be a 50 person, 50-50 person. You can't even be a 99.9% person. I've realized all of that.
Yes.
You've got to give everything 100 and say, no, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I promise you it will happen. You've
Yeah.
got to keep going. If I can do 6 years, anyone can get to this point.
All or nothing, basically.
All or nothing.
I completely agree with you. I think when your heart's not in it and you're doing something, you're never going to get the results.
No.
But when your heart's in there and you're fully focusing, and I think it's the energy that you have, and also then you drive around people around you, it makes a massive, massive difference. So yeah, never give up. Keep going. But keep focused. You have to do the graphs. You have to do the work. I think that shouldn't be underestimated. It's not going to. I think now we're in the culture where everyone wants everything like the next day. But it takes time to build something, which is impressive.
That's so true. Everybody thinks it'll just fall into your laps and that's it. Quickly, let's move on. But actually, like you said, you've really got to keep that focus. I have to, even where I am now, I still have to remind myself, why did I start this in the first place? Because I still have bad days. It doesn't mean I've got a dream job and I'm living the best life, because I'm not. I'm a normal person, and I have life problems like everybody else. But you've got to remind yourself, why did I start this? And it'll just put everything back into perspective.
And during those kind of ups and downs, I think it's completely normal. I think for me, it's having things that inspire you along the way can be really helpful, and that keeps you going. It also kind of shows you the way, like what's the next step, what's the next path you're going to take. For you, what is it that inspires you every single day? Obviously, you have your the incredible career that you've built, but do you have like a particular media personality or a mentor that you turn to, or something that you read? What would you say that is?
I think it's actually just family and a good support system. I've got amazing friends, which I'm blessed to say. Like, I have a really tight-knit circle, people that I can turn to, because on a journey that I've been on, and especially the kind of emotions that I have to deal with on a daily basis from 0 to 100, it's so important to have the right people around you. And I think without them, I don't think I'd even like survive as long as I have as well in this industry. So I think for me, that's the one thing that gives me inspiration every day. Like, I've got people to say, no, you can keep going. I've got people around me saying, no, you can even do better. You can achieve this. I think you should go for that. That's constant inspiration, because if you don't have it, sometimes you just give up anyway, because it's just you reminding yourself again and again. And sometimes that can get boring, listening to your own voice all the time. So I think if you've got the right people supporting you and telling you that you are good, or telling you what your worth is, or telling you that you can do better, or even just giving you a bit of credit. Well done, that was really good. It helps, and it makes you want to do it even more. So for me, that's where I find my inspiration, I think.
Everyone thrives on positivity. It's so important. I think, and I guess that network. I mean, thinking about me, that network of that close people you have around you doesn't need to be huge.
No.
Would you agree? I think even just having those close 5 people around. They say you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
One hand. I always say that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that you have to have hundreds of friends supporting you and cheering you on. You just need that close network, whether that's family, friends, and appreciate them as well is really important. So in terms of looking at both of our industries, so obviously we're in completely different industries, but there are many overlaps.
We could never swap, Rena, if that's what you're asking. I could not do what you do at all.
So in terms of the kind of overlaps, I guess, well, I've looked after your teeth for several years now, but in the industry we're both in, you have to look and feel your best. And that does form a part of it. Your lifestyle is quite extreme, it's quite intense. I guess with us as well, with the clinic, you're constantly seeing patients, going to meetings, all this. You kind of have to juggle lots of different things. You almost have to look after yourself like an athlete, I guess, because you're constantly working an intense schedule. And as you know, if you don't look after yourself, I mean, you're like the most important thing. You can't talk, you can't present. It's game over. And with me, I can't see my patients. And I guess you're juggling all those projects. And I mean, for me, I feel like it's a lifestyle approach to your career. I mean, that's how I see it. I just see it as one whole thing merged together. And it's a lifestyle approach. What's your perspective on that? I mean, how do you juggle it all? How do you manage it all? I guess with you as well, it's quite variety. So you're on the mic, but then you're on TV as well. So and then different age ranges of people as well. So it's a lot to handle.
I think you've caught me at the right time actually with this question, because I think I've never suffered so much with my health than I am right now.
Okay.
And it's quite bad in loads of different ways. Maybe just because of the lifestyle has caught up with me now. And I think you always think when you're on the go and you're in that overdrive mode, you feel like your body can hack it. I can do a bit more. I can stay up a little bit longer. I can go out for a little bit longer, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I feel like I taught my brain and my body to think that it's got so much adrenaline all the time that I could just keep going.
Right.
So like for 2-3 years of my early stage of my career, I did that. And it's maybe because I was a bit younger, obviously, as well. I've got on a little bit. But you have that energy and that strength. But I trained my brain into thinking, I can do this because I can hack it. Yeah. Because not everybody can. They can't do the lifestyle that I'm doing. They can't wake up at the stupid times that I wake up at. Yeah. And then sleep at a silly time as well. Run off little sleep and then have a full day tomorrow. That's just my life every day. Yeah. But I think I just got so caught up in everything going on around me. It was go, 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 go. But then I really crashed against the wall. Like one day it was just like everything's falling apart. Like my body started to feel different. My headache started to get worse. I started seeing the difference in my fitness when I'd go and train because I love going to the gym. Yep. But I couldn't do as much as I could do. Right. And all of this is like a domino effect. The lack of sleep. I'm always sleep deprived. Right now, probably at my worst, which is why I'm saying you've caught me at a good time to talk about it. You know, I'm going to hospital appointments for different things going on in my body because I know it's just the neglect that I've caused my actual body and health because I've been so busy working and focusing on career that I've forgotten how important it is to look after everything else. Because like you said, image, presence in our industries, both of ours for that matter, we get more and more conscious of it as well. I'm more conscious of it now than I ever have been. And normally I don't really care. I'll go out with no makeup like I am now. This is just me. Fine. But now it's like I'm on TV more. I'm doing more and more things. Right. You're like, you become more conscious thinking, no, this needs to look right. That needs to change. It does to a certain extent, but I also don't agree with people that go too extreme. Yes. You don't need to go that far either.
Still need to be authentic.
Yeah, like you still need to be yourself a little bit. Yeah. But now I'm suffering so much. I'm trying really hard to learn. Yeah. Again, another important point. You don't learn everything in one go. I'm still learning every day. I'm learning now that balance is so important, and I just do not have that in my life. Yeah. I don't know how to balance. Yeah. I'm just booking things in my diary every day, or I'm cancelling things with people and rearranging that's just an everyday thing for me. Right. I'm getting lost in it now. Yeah. And I think I've got to an age, I'm 32, but I've realised that actually life and health and all of that definitely comes first. Because when you go into exhaustion like I am now, it's not worth it. I now look at it going, it's actually not worth it. I'm overworked. Yeah. I am overworking, and I think I've done too much in such little time. It feels like I've done everything I could possibly do in my career in just these 7 years. Yeah. But there's still so much more I want to do. Yeah. So that's why now I've got another wake-up call of going, well, Harpz, if you've got a list of you want to do this yet, you want to do that, you can't if you're in this state. No. Absolutely not. And I think that's what gets to me now. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I physically can't yet, or mentally even for that matter. So I'm working on things and fixing things, but it's so important. Just keep an eye on health. Life and health as well. It's not always work, because I've made that mistake. Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree, and I'm sort of the same. I don't know when to stop, but I think it's about balance is so important. I don't even know if it's balance, but just making sure you're aware of your. I think health is the most important thing. At the end of the day, if something happens to you, everything else is suffering. I think we realize when that thing happens, and you're like, oh my God, I can't do anything. We take it for granted. So I think some people think, is it selfish to look after yourself? But absolutely not. It's the most important thing.
You are the most important thing.
Yeah, and 100%. If you can't look after yourself, you can't look after anyone else. So balancing that in, I think, is key. But as you said, you learn things as you go along. I think none of us is perfect. So every day. So in terms of the actual industry that you're in at the moment, you've obviously faced both the personal challenges, but also getting to where you are, which is in an incredible stage. For someone who's really interested in the same type of career, and I'm sure there are so many people inspired by what you've achieved, and I mean, I think it's incredible. But we all know behind the scenes there is a lot of work, as you've already alluded to already. And sometimes on the top of the surface, it all seems amazing, like, you know, when you have synchronized swimming, everyone's like super balanced on top, but actually really suffering, and, you know, you got to keep it together, which is really tricky. For someone starting up in, you know, similar thing that you want to do, what advice would you give them in terms of, I know you've mentioned getting as much experience as you can and saying yes to things first. Are there any currently, given the climate, any things that would work well for them to do?
Yeah, I think I do get asked this quite a lot from a lot of people. I'll get messages in my inbox all the time as well, like, what should I do? How do you do it? How did you get into this? But I won't always have the answer to tell everyone how to get there, because I do believe everyone's got a completely different journey. You'll get to where you want to get, but not everyone's going to go there the same way.
Right.
But what I will stress is, like you said, not everyone knows how much work actually goes into it. From the surface, everything looks beautiful.
Exactly, yeah.
In any situation in life. But I've really drilled in this one line, and it lives with me now, is that not all... Wait, I need to get this right. Not everything that glitters is gold.
Right.
And I live by that now, because actually what you see, for example, my social media, let's use that.
Okay.
Anyone that follows me now on my Instagram or whatever, you probably think I live the most glam lifestyle. I'm always happy and partying, whatever it is, or, you know, my career's doing so well, I've met so-and-so. But that's because that's what I want to show you.
Right.
I don't want to show you when I'm crying. I don't want to show you when I'm down. I don't want to show you how many hours I've been awake. Don't want to show you, like, well, you definitely don't want to see me just sat there, like, sleep deprived at like 2-3 in the morning, still not being able to sleep, because that'd be a mess. But there's so many other things going on in your life that you do not see. And it's not just life, it's work itself. Like, when I'm waking people up on a morning for 4 hours, you're just hearing my voice thinking, she's the happiest person today. Like, yes, she's giving me the energy. Right. But I could have been having the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
And I've been in so many positions like that. I will go into work sometimes not wanting to go if I've had a bad day, because I've had a bad day.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'll work myself up so much to the point where, oh my God, like, I've got to go to work. I've got to wake up the nation, but I'm crying.
Yeah.
I need to wake up the nation, but I'm stressed. I need to wake up the nation, but I've got 50 problems on my head outside of this building. But people forget that.
Yeah.
People don't think of me as a person. I think people just see me as this machine or a robot of some sort that's just working, living life, and you spot me here and there. But you don't see the graft.
Yeah.
You do not see how many extra hours I'm working to give you that content. Yeah. You don't see the extra travel or the places I might be going to bring you that content.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think people need to understand and realize that it doesn't matter how hard it might feel at that time when you're trying to get there. There might be some barriers and struggles, and you might be sat there thinking this is too hard, but it pays off.
Yeah.
It always pays off. Obviously, don't drive yourself mad like I am right now to the point where you're overworked, but if you know how much effort and hard work you're putting into it, it will pay off in the end.
Yeah.
But just know that the struggle is a part of it. No one's smooth sailing. No. Like, you don't get from A to B, like, just sliding there.
No, nothing good comes easy.
Yeah, nothing does. Like, you know how they always say, like, when you look at a tree, it looks so beautiful, but the roots in the bottom of the ground is where it started.
Absolutely.
And they're always going to look that way. So it's still carrying all that weight. Yeah.
And takes time to grow.
And it takes time to grow. So that's how I see it now. It's just like life is the same thing.
Right.
You know, you can blossom and you'll find all these amazing treats and awards and achievements at the end, because they're beautiful things that you've worked towards. But you've got to struggle sometimes to get there, to appreciate it as well. Yeah. I appreciate my journey more and more because I know how much I'm suffering along the way at the same time to get there. So you've just got to be proud of those moments as well, and you will get through it. Yeah. You need the bad to go with the good.
Exactly. And you got to enjoy the journey. At the end of the day, it's not just about the end goal. Mm-hmm. It's about enjoying every step, which is what life's about. So do you have a typical day? I mean, every day must be quite different. But I know when we chat, you mentioned, I see for your appointments, I've been awake since 4 a.m. for the show. And I'm like, wow, I thought I was...
It's the same answer every
5:30 a.m., but 4 a.m. is like, wow. And then you got something on the evening. Yeah. And, it's constantly like, go, go, go. Mm. If you had like a typical day, what would for those listening be nice to describe what that is?
You're 100% right in every day is different, but every morning starts the same for me. So it feels like the same cycle again. But I'll wake up at 4, my alarm will go off at 4, but I snooze for like 15, 20 minutes. I am that person that you do not want to be in the same room with me on a morning because my alarm will go off about 10 times. I have to because I get scared of sleeping in and all of that. Do
you have one alarm or do you have several
No,
alarms?
I have about 8.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I was to open up my app and show you now, you'd probably have a heart attack. It's a lot. But I feel like I have to because it's so easy sometimes to be so tired from the night before to just, snooze, I'll switch it off. Oh, just another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes. And I've been in positions where those 5 minutes have gone to an hour and I'm late for work. So I get really paranoid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd wake up at 8. I'll quickly get ready for work. I am literally out of the door in half an hour. It's too early for me to even look at breakfast or anything.
Right.
I'll eat when I get to work.
Okay.
So I'll travel into work, 25 minutes to half an hour. I'm giving you that just so you know how much I travel in a day.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a Thursday.
That's a lot,
Thursday is a typical day, so I'll tell you what happens on a Thursday.
Okay.
I've got to work. I'll get my breakfast. I'll sit down. Now, for half an hour, 45 minutes, I will sit with my production team, my producers, and we'll prep the show. We'll go through what needs to happen, what we need to do, anything we need to get, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go live at 7.
Right.
4-hour breakfast show. So just imagine...
Non-stop,
non-stop.
Okay.
But that's where my full energy goes. Right. And you've got to remember, everything I've got goes into those 4 hours because it's a breakfast show. Because I have to wake everyone up.
Yeah.
I can't put people back to sleep. That's my worst nightmare. So I'll lose my job. So you need to make sure you're out of bed when you're listening to me. Because anyone that falls asleep, you're not a fan. So yeah, I'm doing my job wrong. So I have to make sure those 4 hours, no matter what happens, going back to even those bad days, doesn't matter how bad my day is. Right. Minute I get in the studio, my brain is now like, switch. You've got to switch it off. Think about life when it's over. Yeah. But 4 hours now, it's got to be ham time. Right. So I will go ham for those 4 hours. But then I crash. 11, I've finished. Right. And I'm like, firstly, I need to eat. Yeah. And I'm that hungry, I'd probably want a Nando's at 11 o'clock because I feel like I've done half a day's work. Yeah. So
when you have.
So I need to fit in my food there. Yeah. This is where the madness starts on a Thursday. I will then have to literally make sure I'm home within 45 minutes to make sure my stuff's now packed because I've got a flight to catch to go to Glasgow for my TV stuff.
Oh my gosh.
In that window, everything needs to be done. Like, I need to make sure my packing's done, the state of my house is okay because I need to come home to a clean place. So that stresses me out. Right. So little things like that. Travel to the airport, that's another hour gone. I've now gone to the airport, I'm checking in. Okay, you know that. I'll sit there until my flight, get on the flight. I will not reach Glasgow until about 7-ish on average, bearing in mind the wait in the airport. The flight's only an hour. But I'll get there at 7. By this point, I'm exhausted because I haven't had a chance to nap anywhere. Yeah. I'm not eating properly. I'm eating at stupid times because I'll eat when I'm hungry, not so much when I should eat. Right. And then I'll cram all that in to about 9 o'clock. I want to eat again. So these are things where I'm talking about balance earlier on. Routine, I've just neglected it all because I just go, I'll just eat at 9 when I get in. But it's so bad for you because that's
even what we eat, when we eat, it makes such a big difference on your energy. Yeah.
So just that typical day, I'm doing things just to get by, but I don't realize where I'm going wrong because I just keep doing it. I'm just like, keep going, get to where you need to go. And then I'll wake up the next day, rehearse for a show. Saturday morning, I'll go live. I'll wake up at 4, rehearsals. It's all mad. And then I'll come back on Saturday and do all this all over again. Yeah. But Monday to Wednesday, I'll have other things in the day. Yeah. But my point I really want to make on just a typical day is I've done those typical days without thinking about the important stuff. And I really, really stress to anyone in the industry, wanting to get into the industry, might even be at the start of their journey, please don't neglect it, man, because I'm really paying for it in a really bad way now, and it's not good. Like, you don't want to wake up every day thinking about, now I need to fix this part of my body and that part of my body. And it's all because I've just neglected it. And it is my own fault. I could change my sleep if I wanted to. Right. But I don't, because I just feel I need to keep going or fit in a little bit more and sleep 2-3 hours and go back to work. Because that's what I do. I sleep 3-4 hours and I go to work every day, and then I'll come home.
The importance of sleep is.
Don't even get those important 7 hours that people tell you. So you've got to keep an eye on it, because a typical day like mine will just destroy you and catch up to you. And I'm doing that now.
Wow. I think the fact that you've kind of realised it's happening is really important. It's like half the battle won. A lot of people go by life and not even realising before it's seriously too late. So no, that's inspiring, and I've got to ask you. So you do always have to be on point, and as you said, those 4 hours you've got to give it your all, your 100%. Is there anything you do? Because I know, like when I have a surgery, for example, a big surgery, there's a few things I do before the surgery. I'll have a specific drink. I'll like read through something. You get that prep. I know many years ago, actually, I went on the Tony Robbins thing, and he always has to say like make your move, before to get your energy up. Is there anything like other things that you do like just before the show starts to get you in that mind frame?
Yeah, first thing without a doubt, every morning I need green tea.
Right, okay.
And mainly because of my voice, I've got to keep my throat, and my voice is so important, right? That's what people listen to every morning. So I've got to make sure I'm looking after that in some sort of a way. So that is just a given. And it's the only really hot drink I drink.
Okay.
I don't drink coffee. Anyone that thinks I run off coffee with the energy, absolutely not.
Right. It's all about green tea.
Yeah, it's green tea and adrenaline. But the only other thing I really do is once I'm in the studio, it's really silly that I'm going to say this, but I have to turn the music really loud. Like the speakers have to be so loud. Anyone that walks into my studio hates it. They just find it like, whoa, I need to step back out.
Yeah.
But I have to stay like that because one, it keeps me awake, but two, it gives me that drive. I live off music. Anyone that knows me on a personal level, I can't go anywhere without it. Anywhere. I'm not just in the shower, anywhere, in the gym, when I'm walking, traveling. It's got to be with me. But to start my show with the energy that I need, at 7 a.m, mate, in my studio, it's rave time.
Wow.
It's not like, it's not what you think. Like, I know a lot of breakfast presenters ease their way into it. It's calm, it's peaceful. I'm like, yo, let's wake up. That's me. But I need it. Otherwise, I can't do it.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Well, I think, listen, Harpz, you've really given us such an insight into your career and life so far. It's so inspirational. I think many people listening out there will pick up so much from what you've kindly shared with us. Anything to look out for going forward? Any big projects coming up? Anything we should be following to keep in touch with you?
I think maybe I can't say too much just yet, but I don't want to jinx it either because it's not happened. But I am working on something maybe by the end of the year.
Okay, exciting.
It might be a different story. That's all I'm going to say.
So stay tuned.
But we'll see, because in this game you never know. Tomorrow anything could happen. So
sounds exciting. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you back at Harley Street very soon.
Thank you. I will definitely be back.
Thank you so much.